Hello, it's Ronaldo here from Ronaldo's Specialty Coffee and Tea. I just wanted to do a little instructional video for you today about a common problem that happens with electric grinders. This is an on-demand grinder that's going to be used for your espresso machine. Every now and then, when you press the button that you want to use for dosing your coffee, sometimes nothing happens, and that's generally because the beans have got stuck in the grinder. So we're going to look at ways of troubleshooting that. So we've put our portafilter on the scales, we've hit the tare button so it's zeroed, and now we're going to dispense some coffee. So I'm going to hit this manual button and you can see nothing's happening. So we've got a bit of an issue with the beans being stuck. Let's have a look at what's caused this problem. Okay, so this is an identical grinder. I'm just going to remove the bean hopper, and if we have a look inside here, when I hit the on button, you'll see the grinder burrs moving round, and actually what happens is the beans go in between the two burrs and get ground, and when you make the grind coarser and finer, the burrs move closer and further apart. So I'm going to take this top burr out and show you actually what it looks like inside. So I'm just going to remove the burrs. It's good to wear some decent gloves so you don't cut your hands. I'm going to press the stop down, and then what we're going to do is just follow the arrow in the direction where it says coarse or grosser, and just follow that, and it should just spin right out. There we go. And you can see that what we have are two identical burrs here. Burrs come in all sorts of sizes, 53mm, 64, 75s, etc. All manufacturers have different size burrs. And if we just have a look, if we stick the camera in here, you can see basically where the coffee has been ground and gone around the outside. There's a little chamber in there that dispenses the coffee. Okay, so we're just going to get a hoover and clean out the grinds here from the burrs. Excuse the noise. And I would recommend being really meticulous. You can get a Phillips screwdriver and just unscrew these 3 screws, take the burr out and get underneath where the beans have got stuck here, and also get a brush and clean the threads. Same on the top of the grinder as well, on the top burr as well. So the other week when I was teaching a course here, we had a grinder that had got stuck, and we tried to do a couple of things while the beans were still in the hopper. It wasn't working, so I took the burrs out and I found something quite interesting, which was a bean had got lodged between the central nut and the inside of the burr, and with the other beans piling on top, what was happening was that the top burr, this one here, was actually just sort of resting on the top of that bean, and it was preventing the rest of the beans from being ground. And so what we'd need to do is just remove that bean and get rid of that bean, and that should possibly do the trick. Okay, so back to our original grinder that's got stuck. What we're going to do is we're going to hit the manual button and keep the machine running, keep the grinder running, and at the same time we're going to open up the adjustment wheel, making it coarser, and then you should see the coffee at some point begin to grind. We'll put a cup underneath to catch the grind. Unfortunately, we're going to waste a bit of coffee, and while it's still running, we're going to move it back to its original espresso setting. So here we are, it's stuck. I'm going to press the button down, open it up, and you can see it running and then stop. And that will have loosened up the beans inside, and it should be okay now. So another nice little tip about avoiding the coffee beans getting stuck in the grinder is, if your grinder is empty of coffee beans, what I would suggest is, when you put the new coffee beans into the hopper, put the slider in the closed position, and then again a cup underneath, set the machine running manually, and then drop your beans in and you can stop it. So that way what actually happened is that the beans have ground a little bit between the burrs, and it avoids that problem of dropping the beans in and the burrs getting jammed because you've got loose beans in there. So thanks for watching, I hope that was useful for you. Do look out for more of our upcoming videos, and if you have any questions about this or any of the other videos, please feel free to drop me an email. It's rin@rinscoffee.com. Many thanks.